Hello, everyone, and welcome into Browns Talk. This is Aaron St. Denis at FF Mad Scientist. I am your Cleveland Browns High Point correspondent. I've got with me the Los Angeles Rams. I always want to say St. Louis Rams, but I got the LA Rams correspondent, SC Romero. He is at the PPR show, and this is High Point Browns Talk. How's it going, SC?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Hey, saying St. Louis is okay, man. You know that was a legendary team there, but yeah, LA, man. Stafford and the team when they're healthy, there's something dangerous to talk about.
I still want to do it with the San Diego Chargers, too.
Yeah,
That one gets me. Or what's the other one? Was it what were the Cardinals before? Arizona. What the hell were the
Cardinals
Cardinals?
before.
Weren't the Cardinals something else?
No, I mean the most recent one was Las
Phoenix.
Vegas.
Oh no, I'm thinking something else. Arizona, Phoenix. I'm thinking hockey. I get these two teams relocate too much, so
Yeah.
got me all over the place. So we are facing off this week. Browns at Rams in week 13. I looked at the spread, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not a Cleveland homer. I am a Lions slash Saints fan. But when I seen that the Rams are 4-point favorites, I found that kind of perplexing. We've got the Rams are 5-6, the Browns are 7-4. I have no idea why the Rams are 4-point favorites. Do you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's more so the quarterback issue, right? You have to take that into consideration. You have Flacco in his first game with the Browns there. Even if Flacco wasn't there, it was what DTR and PJ Walker who haven't been
Yeah.
really good. But I would say they wouldn't be favorites if it wasn't Stafford at the helm. If it was Carson Wentz or even Rippey in there, they probably wouldn't be favorites. But with Stafford in the lineup, Kyron back in the lineup, I think you got to give the edge there because it kind of looks like they're at full force. So it kind of favors them. Plus, Seattle lost, so it's a bigger time for them to have a comeback to try to get in that playoff race again.
All right, I guess we can start off with the quarterbacks then, since that's where we went. The
Yeah.
matchups here: 12th best matchup for the Browns and the worst matchup for Matthew Stafford. Having said that, I've got Stafford at 19 in my Fantasy Pros rankings.
Mhm.
He is my cutoff. Once you get to 19 this week, after 20, it is abysmal. I have Joe Flacco at 26. If you look at my 20 down, it's Bryce Young, Will Levis, Jake Browning, PJ Walker, Desmond Ritter, DTR, Joe Flacco, both Patriots quarterbacks, and then Tim Boyle. So Stafford is kind of him and Derek Carr are my in case of emergency break glass quarterback. But so I guess he's still kind of a mid range QB2 for me. But really, he's only a super flex option for me. That's Stafford and Joe Flacco. I don't even really want to play unless it's some form of horrible emergency or injury issue by week hell that you have. I'm
Yeah.
sure someone out there is playing him, but I hope it's not me. What do you think of these two guys?
Yeah, I mean Stafford, man. All week I've been watching to see if Miles Garrett was playing. I know he was a little banged up after last week's game, and it looks like he's off the injury report. So, with that being said, the pressure is going to be on Stafford. The Rams do give up some sacks here and there, so I'm not comfortable starting him. But if I have to, I'd rather start him over Flacco. With Flacco's first game back, he's a check down king, so it might be some good looks for Ford, even Hunt, maybe even Njoku there, because I don't think he's going to be able to go deep to Cooper or Elijah Moore. But out of these two, I think I gotta go Stafford just because he's had the experience. He has Cooper Cup, Nakua, Atwell, Higby, all there. He's probably your better bet, but I'm risky starting him just because the Browns defense is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree there. Move on to running backs. Bad matchup for both. 25th best for the
Mhm.
Browns, 20th best for the Rams. Having said that, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Kyron Williams, I am considerably higher on. I have him at 13. Might boost him up into the RB1 range there. He's considerably higher than my next best in this game, which is Jerome Ford at 24. I've got Kareem Hunt at 32, and I moved down all the way to 44 for Royce Freeman. So,
Yeah.
I've got me a borderline RB1 in Kyron Williams, probably a mid to low end RB2 in Ford. And then I guess if you're desperate, you can flex Hunt. I don't really want any part of any of the other running backs in this game.
Yeah, Freeman, take him out. You should drop him. Really, I think, especially in Dynasty, you're dropping him. Redraft, you're dropping him. Kyron Williams, you just want the volume in this game. This front seven for the Browns is going to be heavy. It's not going to be like last week against Arizona. So I am hesitant. I don't think he's going to have as an explosive game as he had back, it's going to kind of come back to earth. I mean, he has the Browns this week and the Ravens next week, so two tough matchups here. Ford, I like. I as I mentioned, Flacco's that check down king kind of, so Hunt could see a little bit more work here. But if I'm not mistaken, Ford has a couple more receptions than Hunt in the past 2 weeks. So Ford I do like for that reason, but same thing, the front seven for the Rams is going to be there. I mean, if we talk IDP, I like Ernest Jones and Byron Young this year, the linebacker for the Rams, just going out against Ford because I don't see them going deep. I see them going across the middle or even up the middle with the running backs. So I think those two linebackers could have some heavy days today.
Absolutely. The wide receivers, bad matchups again. This is not a great matchup for anyone in this game until we get to the end. 20th best for the wide receivers, second worst for the receivers on the Rams. I have both Rams receivers ranked higher than Amari Cooper. I have Puka Nacua at 16, down to 22 for Cooper Kupp, and my highest ranked Brown, and the only Browns receiver I want to even consider, is Amari Cooper at 30. So I've got a 2, a low end 2, and a 3 in this game. And really, even Cooper Kupp kind of scares me with how he's been playing and dealing with the injury. I feel good about Puka Nacua. I don't really feel good about anyone else in this wide receiver core for either team. What do you think?
Yeah, Cooper, man, he's been the question for me all this week. Like I want to, because I'm like I trust Flacco more than DTR to at least get the ball out right. But at the same time, this is a pretty bad matchup for him. So I don't. I'm actually benching him in one league for Greg Dortch actually. But then Cooper Kupp, man, same reason. Like it just hasn't looked pretty. We're not seeing it. I don't know if that's because Puka Nacua's came along or if it's Tutu Atwell. He's probably getting the target. So I mean, he's a safe bet, but I think he's favoring more that possible bust again than it is a boom this week. Again, just a nice secondary for the Cleveland Browns there. So I don't. You can start him, but I'm not like if you're trying to get in that playoff race, I may bench him if you have a better option.
Live show interrupted by a 9-year-old. Awesome.
So good.
Sorry. Moving on to the tight ends. Good matchup here. 6th best for Cleveland. Worst matchup for Tyler Higbee and the Rams. I have Njoku as my tight end 9 on the week. Higbee all the way down at 20. I really don't want to start Higbee unless I'm desperate here, and I'm pretty comfortable starting Njoku. I like him this week. What do you think?
Yeah, Njoku's in my lineup if I have him. I have him in a couple leagues actually. Higbee, man, I tried to sell him last week after a 2-touchdown performance. I was like, hey man, he's gonna be your tight end league winner, right? So I wasn't able to get any lucky shares off him, but I mean that was the week to sell him. He's on the field. That's the thing about Higbee. He gets on the field. He's as like over 90% snaps a majority of the year, if not all year right now. The biggest factor is though he's not doing anything on the offensive side to put up any fantasy production. So even though Higbee's looks nice because he's on the field, he's not necessarily getting the looks. He's not getting the end zone looks that we want. So he's right at your bench. A nice stream for sure, but I'm not streaming him this week.
The kickers, Dustin Hopkins, 7th best matchup. Lucas Haversack, 30th best, so 3rd worst. I have Lucas ranked 19th, and I have Hopkins lower. I'm not sure why. That's odd in my rankings. I may have to reevaluate that. I have Hopkins at 21. I know neither's really been great. I would prefer to avoid both, despite the good matchup here for Cleveland. They're not really even in the streaming conversation for me. So, despite the fact I may move Hopkins up a few spots, I won't be moving either up high enough to play either this week. What do you think?
Yeah, Hopkins, I mean, the benefit is I think they can see more field goals than touchdowns, just like maybe we don't see Flacco just close it right and get in the end zone. So you might see more field goals where the Rams, if they bring it down, they're probably going to score. So, I mean, you might just not get the field goal yardage you want from Haversack or anything like that. So that may be the difference maker. So out of these, I might lean Hopkins just in favor of, he might get the extra 50 yards or 45-yard field goals that they need.
The DSTs here to wrap it up. I have the Rams as my DST 5 right now because it's such a nice matchup. The 7th, I may move them down a little bit. Once it was announced that Flacco's the quarterback, I don't think the matchup's nearly as good. Flacco is probably going to play a much more conservative game. I don't think he's going to turn the ball over. Sure, the point total and the turnover, or the point total and the yardage is going to be limited, but I think I liked it much better with Walker or DTR. Having said that, they're still going to be startable. They're a top 10 for me. The Browns are down at 18 for me. I don't hate the matchup. I don't love the matchup. I don't. I love the Browns defense. So
Yeah.
they are, like I said, they're down at 18 for me. I think I'm going to move them up a little, probably still outside the top 12, and I'm going to move the Rams down, but still inside the top 10. So I never thought I'd say this, but I think I'd take the Rams this week over the Browns, which is weird because I'm really high always on the Browns DST. What do you think?
No, I mean, I think you hit on the money with the Rams. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game for Cleveland. So the Rams may get those stops here, and Cleveland on the defensive side, they're going to be the ones that maybe get a turnover, maybe get an interception off Matthew Stafford, or even just force like a fumble somewhere down the line. Where the Rams, I think, because like you said, Joe Flacco is going to be playing conservatively, they're just going to have to play to not let them score. So you're going to see more field goals happen. So with them, I'd probably start the Browns over the Rams. But I like the Rams IDP players more than I like Cleveland's IDP players.
Agreed. All right, buddy. Good talking to you. Hopefully, I will catch you tomorrow morning. If you're tomorrow, I guess at lunch, if you're able to join the sit show for us.
Yep.
It's always great talking to you. That is a wrap for Browns Talk Week 13. This was the Browns at Rams Week 13 matchup preview with Aaron St. Denis for the Cleveland Browns at FF Mad Scientist, and for the Rams, we have SC Romero at the PPR Show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Check back next week for my High Point Browns Talk Week 14 preview. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks, SC.